All right. Sorry I've been absent the last few days. I meant to make more stuff, more content, but as often happens, I got really busy. I also got really tired because I've been working out a lot, trying to get my physical fitness goals underway. My attempts at getting back in shape, and at the same time, this is I find your physical health and your spiritual health and your mental health are all inextricably woven together. So for me, the best way I can take care of my mental health and my spiritual well-being is to exercise and do it a lot, like a lot. So I've been doing that and just been very tired. And also, by the way, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree is out, so I've been playing a shit ton of that, and that's taken up a lot of my time. So, anyways, let's talk about the Acolyte. I've been paying attention to the Acolyte audience and review scores, and as you can see here, the show has not been doing so hot. Its critical review score is down, and its audience review score, which now has 25,000 plus reviews, is down to 13%. Now, clearly, this is what we call a review bomb. Now, I'm not saying that in a negative way. A lot of people use review bombing as a negative, but I personally believe that review bombing is a perfectly legitimate way for consumers to express their discontent, anger, whatever over various products, whether that's a show like The Acolyte, or we've seen the review scores for Elden Ring drop to mixed on Steam because a lot of people are upset with both performance and the difficulty level of that game. Now, personally, I find that absurd. I think the game is running fine for me. Now, I can't speak for everyone, obviously, but it's also not too hard. Guys, it's supposed to be really hard. It's supposed to gank you. You're supposed to get screwed over in Elden Ring, and Shadow of the Erd Tree, the new DLC that people seem to be upset about, is actually just one of the most phenomenal video game expansions I've ever played. But another video for another time to talk about that. When it comes to the Acolyte, do I think that a 13% score is an accurate representation of how bad this is? Well, if we're going to go by historical Disney plus Star Wars shows, I would say that this is right in line with Obi-Wan Kenobi, the Book of Boba Fett, and the third season of The Mandalorian, as in it's very mediocre, not a good show, would not recommend it. But is it a 13%? I would say it's probably more in line with those shows, which are getting like, around 50%, somewhere in that neighborhood. So clearly this is, I think a lot of people, do I think that this is just because it's, a black female Jedi as the lead that it's getting this low of a score? No, I don't think that either. I think that it's a combination of factors. I think that people are seeing the direction Star Wars is headed, and the direction a lot of shows are headed. The Witcher, Rings of Power, and it's headed in a direction that a lot of people don't like, myself included. Now, this isn't because, for me personally, this is not because it's diverse. It's the way that they're handling diversity. Andor is a show that's very diverse, that's handled with a lot of respect, that's handled with, a lot of subtlety. It's not propaganda. It's not just thrown in your face. And this show, The Acolyte, I think does kind of just take it all in this sort of ludicrous direction. I mean, there's a bit about pronouns with this little guy Basil, this little cute alien guy, and it's just like, come on. Like, I know they're trying to write that off as like a joke, but do we need pronoun jokes in Star Wars? Come on. I don't think we need pronoun jokes that are making fun of pronouns or that are using them in a lighthearted way. I just don't think we need that in Star Wars. It doesn't fit Star Wars. This is a fantasy. This is a space fantasy. We are trying to get away from the world and all of its craziness in Star Wars, not bring it to us. 13%, yeah. This is a lot of people expressing their anger and discontent with not just the Acolyte, but I would say with Star Wars as a whole right now. The direction that Lucasfilm and Disney have taken Star Wars, the messaging coming down from on top, from Kathleen Kennedy and others in charge, from the creators of these various shows, where it just feels like it's getting away from what made Star Wars actually special in the first place. And the further we get away from what that was, and now it sort of feels like fan fiction, cosplay. They can throw as many lightsabers into it as they want, and it still doesn't feel like Star Wars. I don't think that it's any worse than Boba Fett or Obi-Wan. Personally, I don't think that it's that it's, some uniquely terrible show. I think it's just another bad show. And we've had so many. We've watched The Mandalorian go downhill with every season. Obi-Wan was a mockery of that character. He looked like a fool the entire show. Boba Fett never should have had a show to begin with. The thing that made Boba Fett cool was the very fact that he very rarely said anything at all and hung out in his Mandalorian mask and helmet or whatever and looked badass. Like it was too much of a good thing. This is the thing I've been talking about recently. You can have too much of a good thing. Galadriel's cool because there's hardly any Galadriel in Lord of the Rings. She's mysterious. She's powerful. She's a step apart, from the adventure. She is like godlike, right? Well, now you put her in Rings of Power. She's got a bunch of lines. She acts all, she has too much Galadriel. Not just that she's presented terribly in that show, but you just don't need more Galadriel. You don't need more Boba Fett, but less Boba Fett is better because he remains mysterious and dangerous and cool, right? Even though, in The Return of the Jedi, he kind of dies a kind of a gimpy death in a way. He should have stayed dead. We didn't need to bring back Boba Fett, is what I'm trying to say here. The Acolyte is getting these terrible review scores from audience members, and then we've got, critics. Critics are just hard to take seriously here. Finally, the world of Star Wars actually feels expansive. You didn't think the world of Star Wars felt expansive before? And it doesn't feel expansive. All of these sets, other than Kofar, the planet the Wookiee was on, everything has felt extremely small. And even that planet didn't feel anywhere, any particular kind of unique. It's kind of like in Ahsoka when they go to the other galaxy. And it just felt like this drab, boring, other than kind of towards the end when they show Balin sees like this stuff off in the distance. But for the most part, it didn't really feel like some cool new galaxy. It just felt the same. So much of Star Wars has just felt samey and small. Finally, the world of Star Wars actually feels expansive. The Acolyte might not be the misandrist, hyper-leftist propaganda that online trolls are eager to paint it as, but its incorporation of queerness into its sci-fi trappings make the world feel, for the first time in a long time, full of possibilities. I don't see how. I don't see that they've done anything particularly compelling with the queerness either. Like, having some lesbian space witches do a bad chant doesn't strike me as, like, particularly interesting storytelling when it comes to queer stuff. The National... Armand White. Oh, God. The National Review, Armand White. Oh, my. Showrunner Leslie Headland contrived the Acolyte using Star Wars ideas, figures, and lingo to replicate progressive pillars for environmental, social, and governance performance. The corporate bottom line said to prioritize profit, people, planet. I don't even know what that means. In Star Wars The Acolyte, the High Republic, hitherto unexplored in the cinematic world, arrives to tell its first major story. Yes, that's not even... How is that even... I don't know why you would pick that as your line to include in Rotten Tomatoes. The sight of a lightsaber coming to life has become about as thrilling as turning on a table lamp. Now that I can get behind. Anyways, it goes on. A lot of these are like a promising and flawed entry. A lot of the positive ones I've noticed as I've read through some of these reviews are like, sort of like, it's fine. It's got a lot of problems, but I like it. The performances overall are more dynamic, the writing more engaging than usual for Disney Plus, which keeps the series from dragging like its predecessors. No. Oh, here, look at this handsome devil. The Acolyte is a deeply bland, relentlessly mediocre Star Wars show that pairs some cool fight scenes with wooden dialogue and a predictable mystery. That guy's on to something. I don't know, man. Like, the passion for adventure, I don't feel that. I don't feel like this show has passion for adventure or any of this stuff that people talk about. Now, one interesting thing is this the actor who plays Osha and May, Amanda Stenberg, made this diss track. I have to say, I've watched it, at least some of it. I had to stop it. And then I showed some friends, and we had to stop it partway through. And I'm not going to play it. It's on her Instagram account. You're free to go watch it. I'm I'm not going to play it because other creators have been getting hit with copyright takedowns and shit for reacting to it. So we're gonna just play a little bit of the zoom in here, and it's bad. I mean, it's bad right from the start. It's just kind of laughably bad. I'm sorry. I guess because Kendrick Lamar did those great diss tracks recently of Drake. I guess it's just like that's what we're supposed to do now is make diss tracks. I should make a diss track when somebody says something mean about me. But no, it's really bad. I mean, it's well produced but poorly written. It's terrible music. She should never have done this for so many reasons. You should not post something like this unless you're sure it's good, first of all. Second of all, you should not respond directly to the people who are criticizing you online in this manner. You should probably not respond at all. You should remain above the fray if you're an actor on a show like this. You should not specifically respond to people on Twitter who are talking about thunder, who are talking about some interview you did years ago about a totally unrelated movie. Now, I got on Twitter about this. People are like, she said that white people should cry, and that's the goal. And it's like she was talking about something else. It's a different movie. It has nothing to do with the Acolyte. Just like let it go. But then she brings it up and just makes it an even bigger deal. It's like the Streisand effect, when you respond to critics and you react, and then the problem that you were responding to just gets bigger and blows up in your face. Like, this is a great example of that. Don't do that shit. You look foolish and you're young and you're just encouraging trolls to harass you more. Don't do this. Anyways, The Acolyte returns Tuesday for its 5th episode. I have no idea. I haven't seen it. I don't even know if I have screeners for it. I don't know if it will be any good or not. I will watch it. Whether I get a screener or not, I will watch it. I will review it. I will post my review here and at my blog at Forbes. I have very low expectations at this point. And when I get low expectations, I usually enjoy myself more because I hate being excited for something and then really let down. Like True Detective Night Country. I was excited for that because I was like, okay, it's been years since we've had a True Detective. I like Jodie Foster. She's great. This could be really cool, set in Alaska, something totally different. I didn't really know much about that showrunner of Night Country, and I was very let down. I was also kind of excited. I was pretty excited for Rings of Power because I didn't really look into it that much. I was just like, cool, like, it'll be a different era of Tolkien, and they're going to tell some cool stories, and like, that'll be neat. That'll be fun. Like, I'd like to be entertained. And then, Rings of Power was dog shit. I don't know which was worse, Night Country or Rings of Power. They were both pretty bad. I would rank them both worse than The Acolyte, honestly. Because it's just bland. Its worst sin is blandness. So anyways, I don't know. We'll see. I got to make my House of the Dragon review also. House of the Dragon's been really good so far this season. Slow, a little somber, not too exciting or funny, but pretty good. And I'm still behind on The Boys. I need to do something about The Boys because I do share a lot of the complaints other people have been talking about with that show so far. So I need to finish. I really need to stop playing Elden Ring so much. What? I get done with Elden Ring at like 1 or 2 in the morning, and I'm like, I should go watch some Boys, and then I just fall asleep. So I need to get down and actually get some work done here, and not just obsessively explore the Shadow Realm and find out what's over there. And I gotta go get that map fragment, and then I gotta go kill that boss, and it might take me a few tries, and then I gotta go see how this weapon works, maybe respec my character with a larval tier, and then I gotta go level up the weapon. And, it's addictive. I'm addicted. Anyways, I have an addictive personality. So anyways, thanks for watching. I had to check in on this audience score, see where it was at. 13% is pretty freaking low. Does it deserve it? On the one hand, I don't think it's as bad as that. On the other hand, I too am fed up with all the bullshit with Star Wars. And not just with Star Wars, but with The Witcher, with Rings of Power and Lord of the Rings, with Marvel, with so many shows. And it's not just the propaganda. It's the bad storytelling on top of it. It's that all of these properties seem to have been infested with people who are more interested in pushing their own worldviews on everybody else rather than just telling a great story. And look, you can tell a great story and push your own worldviews, but you have to do the storytelling first. That's how you get the message across, and not by shoving the message first and the storytelling second. You weave in your thoughts and your ideas into the story in ways that are subtle and compelling, and that's how you get people to pay attention. Anyways, all right, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Peace.